Welcome back, wealthy women. It's been such an incredible journey with each and every one of you. We are just absolutely excited to have each and every one of you on this continued journey with us. It's been, of course, quite a bit of weeks, right, Alyson?
Been wonderful. We are week 5.
Absolutely. And so I want to really take a moment to reflect on everything that we've covered, because I think that's important for everyone to know exactly what we've covered and to get clarity on why it's so important to follow these steps for laying the foundation. Week 1, we talked about mindset and energy mastery, setting the foundation for success. And week 2, we talked about clarity and goal settings and defining our wealth vision. Week 3, we talked about turning goals into wealth strategies, identifying revenue generating activities. And week 4, we talked about taking action with financial systems, learning how to manage, grow, and protect our wealth. So, Alyson, do you have anything you want to just kind of recap at the moment with these lovely ladies?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Charlotte. And, ladies, thank you for joining us. And those watching the replay, please continue to comment below. And, it's been a great 5 weeks that we've been able to gift this to you, because it's exciting for us to be able to take our knowledge, take what we've learned, take what works for us and others, that we mentor with, to really give that to you so you have a solid foundation going forward. And you'll see today's going to be awesome, because you will have all of this interweaved into what we're talking today and why it means so much. So I'm glad you're here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Alyson. Yeah, because last time we focused on taking those intentional actions to create wealth, but today we're going to take it even further, really showing everyone how to scale and actually multiply your income in a way that actually allows each and every one of you to build your true financial freedom. And again, I can't say it enough. I'm joined again by the incredible Alyson Macleod, who is a very, very dear friend of mine and business partner. She will actually be sharing her insights on consistency, resilience, and scaling with ease. So, Alyson, let's dive right in. And let's talk about this wealth expansion blueprint.
Perfect.
To really scale your wealth, you need 3 things. Number 1 is a scalable revenue streams of scalable revenue is like so important, and ways to actually make more money without trading more time. And the second thing that you're going to need is those wealth systems that actually help you to multiply your money with the smart automation, reinvestment, and financial structures, which early on we started talking about. And the third thing, of course, is the resilience factor and staying consistent and overcoming those roadblocks on the journey to wealth. Alyson, did you want to share anything about what I just talked about? I know you're going to go deeper a little bit later into this session, but did you want to say anything before we dive in further?
I know, excuse me, you're going to come up with some amazing things for sure. And then, yes, I'd love to tie it back to sort of what we've done so far and what's really going to help you scale this wonderful info she's now going to share with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alyson. So we talked about the scalable revenue streams. Now, if you're still only making money through active work, which many people I know, when I was in corporate behind the chair, the only money that I would have would be the money that I'm actually standing behind the chair, cutting people's hair, coloring people's hair, shampooing people's hair, styling people's hair. But if I didn't show up behind the chair, I would not be making any money. So for those of you that are tuning in and catching the replay, you're here live chiming in with us. I want you to think about what can you do right now, whether you're behind an office chair, sitting down, whether you are working and standing up behind any type of chair, just think about what can you do right now to put your skills to work for you. Because like many people, and including myself, before I got access to the multiple wealth income streams, I was just, trading, I would say, time for dollars. And so that it's really important for you to start tapping into scalable and passive revenue streams. And some of the best ways to do this is by creating a high ticket and premium offer that actually serve fewer higher paying clients while you're serving them. You can also have these subscription models and memberships which create that reoccurring revenue that Alyson and I were talking about, which will actually help you to provide financial stability. Then you want to create those, again, passive income streams. Well, one of the things that Alyson and I do a lot is we publish a lot of books, and you probably heard this only 1,000 times. But when we publish these books and we get royalties from off of like third-party platforms like Barnes and Nobles and Amazon and Walmart and Target, all of these different platforms, what we do is we then reinvest the royalties into real estate and stocks, and then to creating digital products. Also, if you are like most of us, you're having clients buy books directly from you or products directly from you, then you want to take some of the income that you're earning from that to reinvest into, like we talked about, real estate, stocks, or digital products, just to name a few. Some other things that you can do, as we talked about early on as well, was licensing. And I just talked about royalties, because monetizing on this will actually help you to create a ton of direct sales beyond, just the royalties at the same time as well. So I want you to really think deep within yourself and ask yourself, what's one way that you can make income more scalable this year? Type into the chat if you have your comments. We'll be checking those chats as well. If you are watching this as a replay, type it below, comment below, depending on where you are tuning in from, and let us know what that one way that you're going to use this year to create scalable. And for those of you who are not a part of our community and you're watching this and you want to join our community, Wealthy Women University, you can go to wealthywomenuniversity.com. You have a ton of valuable resources, over $12,000 in resources that we have put together exclusively just for you, so that you can start achieving your personal and your professional goals starting right now. The next thing I want to then touch on is those wealth systems that will help you to multiply your money. Because making money is one thing. There are a ton of us who know how to make money, but keeping that money and multiplying it is another. So leveraging credit and funding is really, really one of the most amazing opportunities that you have at your fingertips. You can use business credit and smart financing to grow your assets. And then you can use financial automation to automate the savings, the investing, and then the reinvestment strategies as well. And so being a business professional, there are a ton of I like to say tax goodies that you have at your fingertips, but so many of you aren't taking advantage of it like you should. So we wanted to just share with you that Tax and investment strategies will help you to reduce your tax liability and help you to increase your investment growth through those smart financial structures. Before we actually move forward, Alyson, can you actually share why consistency and resilience are key to long-term wealth?
Absolutely. Thank you. You know, it is a huge part of wealth building when you try to stay consistent, right? And wealth isn't just built overnight. It's a result of showing up daily, even when the results aren't immediate. And when we started talking on the first week about mindset and manifesting what those dreams are, you could be working, you could be posting, nobody seems to be liking them. But I can guarantee you, after a while, if you stop posting, you're going to get messages from people going, "Are you okay? You haven't been on in a while. I really liked your posts. They were positive. They were upbeat. They were informative." Like, you have to have that consistency, whether you see it or not, because it is going to be happening in the background. But there are these little 8 things that I like to bring because you need to develop those consistent habits, right? And whether we talked about time blocking before, doing a group think task time, right? You get on a Zoom call with a bunch of people. And in our paid groups, we do have a lot of these. So we'll have a time where you can get on, and it almost keeps you accountable to actually hone in on one task for the hour or the half hour of what you have to do to stay consistent. Right. And it's handling those mistakes in your routine as well. Right. When you feel like you've gone down the wrong path, debrief it immediately and then strategize on how to make it better and keep moving forward. Right. Because, and I hate that word failure. Right. Because when people say, well, you had made a mistake. Right. It's great to call it a mistake. But when you call it failure, people think it's this huge thing. It brings up a great amount of emotion. But I love it. Why? Because I had to change my mindset to say, oh my gosh, okay, I didn't see this over here. How does it apply to the decision I made? And then use that new information and knowledge to make a better decision. And that's all it is going forward, is making a different, better decision every day to move yourself forward. And that's part of consistency, right? And number 3 is increase your power, right? A lot of people say, oh, you need better willpower. And I think willpower kind of implies that you have to have a will behind you who's going to push you forward, where we both know you have the power within you. You have what is in you, a still unwavering belief in something. And again, if you don't have this absolute full 100% belief, borrow ours, because we know that you have this gift within you that can move you forward, which again increases your power, helps you move forward and stay consistent. And this one, number 4, people laugh at because I'm always about sleep. So get plenty of good sleep, right? It'll come up again because sleep always helps with mental clarity, energy, focus, right? Helps you again have that power that you're looking for because it helps you in your day. And it really helps with focus. It helps everything get better when you get a good night's sleep. And personal development is key. Right. We always say, and when you're in the wealthwomenuniversity.com, there was a post that was done about, what is it that is your biggest investment? And that was the first thing that popped into my mind is personal investment, right? Personal coaching, personal development, because the minute I made sure I had a coach every year was the minute I progressed, was the minute I had someone holding my hand, keeping me accountable, saying, are you doing this? Are you not doing that? Right? So it really gives you a chance to change, has someone sort of in the back of your mind talking mindset, because then you can stay powerful and unstoppable moving forward, because it is all about you first. Because once you have the right foundation, you can share your gifts in such a more powerful way. And then take advantage of those motivation tools like podcasts and meditations and great conversations with like-minded individuals, because that's what's going to keep you moving forward. If you stay in the juice of what it is that you're doing, it is really a powerful tool for consistency. And make and keep your promises, right? Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't say, oh my gosh, I'm going to post 3 times a day, and you've literally posted once a week for the past 6 months, if that. So make it so you can keep it, because then number 8, you get to celebrate your win. And if it is just, okay, for 4 days, I'm going to post something, then for 4 days, post it. But if it doesn't post or you've missed a day, just go post it again. right? Post right in that moment. Don't go, oh my gosh, beat yourself up and then expect yourself to stay consistent and in the juice of what it is you're doing, right? So remember to do that, because celebrating is key, and we want to celebrate you every day. And part of that too is overcoming those setbacks, right? Every successful entrepreneur, Charlotte and I included, have faced financial challenges, but the key is to adapting and staying in the game. Like she said, if you have a certain amount of income, whether it's from a job or from, your business, make sure you're reusing some of that is going toward your growth, right? Your financial payback, not a financial setback in the future. And that is key as well. And then again, there's a couple things as an entrepreneur, right? Still embrace that growth mindset, because it is something that we can slip back on so quickly. And again, reframe those failures so it's a different word that is more conducive to what you need to do to motivate you going forward, that helps with that resilient piece to find solutions instead of getting discouraged. Again, break problems into smaller steps, talk about it with a coach, talk about it with another partner mentor, and really understand what that little problem is, because we make little problems into huge issues sometimes, instead of just looking at it for what it is and either going, okay, I didn't really need to do that, or change it and move forward, right? That comes with the emotional intelligent piece, right? And when all this is happening, stay focused on your why, right? Because when you reconnect to the core and the core reason of your vision and mission for why you started this business in the first place, why you wanted to write a book, why you wanted to open a daycare, whatever it is for you, whatever that purpose is out front and center, is what's going to continue to reignite your passion and your motivation moving forward. And seek mentorship and support, right? Any one of us that are coaching, consulting, we all have coaches, and sometimes more than one, right? So you have to decide how far you want to go, right? And then you get the coach that is the best for where you are in the moment to keep you moving forward, taking those small steps and continuing with one foot in front of the other. And then evaluate and adjust your strategy, right? Setbacks happen sometimes because we get offside. You miss the signal. You're not watching. You're not sticking to your strategic plan. And sometimes you need to sit down and reevaluate your approach. Like maybe it's a plan that you thought everybody wanted you to have or do or apply, but it's not what's in your heart. So sit down with your coach, sit down with us, say, hey, okay, this is what I wanted, but this doesn't seem to get me there. So where's the disconnect, right? Because sometimes when you have someone outside who sees it, they can see the roadblocks and the bumps and the issues, because we can keep you accountable to say, yeah, but you said you wanted to do this, but your strategic plan says that. So where's the misalignment? Why did you put this on your strategic plan? It served you somehow in the moment, but it doesn't serve your grand vision. So make sure you go back to evaluate those. Celebrate your wins again. And I don't know how we have to tell you this all the time, because we love you so much. We want to make sure that you understand how great you are, even in the little things, right? Celebrate the success. Oh my gosh, I actually got that posted on time today. Woohoo! Get up, pat yourself on the back, right? Because sometimes those are the hardest things to do, because there's those little things that we can always push aside. And then it's 10 o'clock at night and we're exhausted. And then we go to bed and wake up in the morning going, oh my gosh, I forgot to post yesterday. I've done that. We've all done that. Nobody's perfect, but we don't live in a perfect world. So just get up and post, and you would be celebrating that win, right? So it's not a horrible thing going down. And prioritize that self-care, right? Burnout is a big thing, and burnout is huge. Why? Because we live in a society that's all about hustle and grind. Get up and you got to do something else, and you got to work 27 hours a day. And, you just have to do this. You have to. And it gets ground in there, because we now have kids in our 20s, and they have an amazing work ethic, because they're not going to take work home at night. They're not going to, have the group cell phone with them on the weekend, so they're the one answering all the phone calls. No, they know that their self-care, and they prioritize their time with their significant others to say, no, it's over with. This is my time to work, and now it's my time to have family time and me time. And there's a lot of people my age, I got to say, that'll say, oh my gosh, like they think they're entitled. Well, yes, they are. Why? Because we help them grow up to be entitled to have a better life and not hustle and grind like we were taught growing up. So, it's looking at different perspectives, but prioritize that. Have some time for yourself, whether it's in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, at night, on a Friday, like whenever it is your time, take it, because you're worth it. And I want you to step back and go, yeah, this is my time. I'm going to love it. I'm going to enjoy it. And if it even means sitting down, watching Netflix, having a bowl of popcorn, petting your dog next to you, enjoy the moment you're in. And that's the self-care we're looking for you. So you don't just take on all the challenges of the world all the time. And then patience, practice, persistence, right? Success rarely happens overnight. Rarely. Because when they say, oh my gosh, you were an overnight success, look, she went from 0 to 1,000,000. Yeah, but it took years to get there. And sometimes you can shorten it, because when you have coaches that are going to help you with the roadblocks, you will get there faster. But you also have to remember that it's the consistency, the resiliency of staying in the game, and the practice that will get you moving forward, which is huge. And then I'll hurry up through this mindset and energy piece.
No, this is so good.
But thank you, right? We started talking mindset and energy because everything has energy. Your work has energy. Your relationships have energy. Money is energy. And it comes down to the mindset you hold and the beliefs you hold that help you get to your goals. So in week 2 and 3, when we set goals and strategically did a goal as to how it can progress to give you success and abundance, you have to go back and review those all the time, because it needs to stay front and center in who you are and what your mindset is all about to sustain your success and move yourself forward. We don't just want you to get to 5 figures a month, then, let's do 6. Well, let's do 7 and 8. Why not? People are doing it, and so can you. But you have to, what we call gradients, right? You can't just go from, oh my gosh, I'm 50,000 in debt and I'm going to make $1 million next week, because your brain goes, no, right? It says, wait a minute, that's not part of my life. That's not part of my world. How do I even get there? And then you go, oh my gosh, fear sets in, anxiety sets in, right? But if you go, oh my gosh, okay, I want to get 2 new clients this week. That is so doable. Then you do everything that you need to do to get there, and you guard your energy and your mindset to get you to those 2 clients. And then you go, oh my gosh, okay, now I've got 3 clients. Right? Because as you go up that scale and that gradient, you can get to 1 million. You just can't do it overnight, and you can't do it alone. So that's another big one. But when you're talking about mindset and energy, the first is to go back and to set those clear intentions and goals, right? Because clarity is power, and knowing your why and aligning daily tasks with your bigger vision helps avoid burnout. You're setting specific goals, which breaks your journey up into manageable chunks as well. So that gradients piece is in flow. So you're not feeling like you're moving mountains. You're just moving molehills, and those are much easier to do. And then you get to celebrate more often, which then gives you that great feeling, and your subconscious goes, okay, I'm used to this. This is good, right? A lot of people say you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Well, you need to get to a certain part where you're a little uncomfortable until it gets comfortable again. And then you go, okay, this is good. This is awesome. What's next? And get excited to get to the next level, because you know that uncomfortableness isn't going to kill you. But if you think you have to get from here to way over there and there's a gorge, you're not going to do it. So little by little, right? And write down your goals, right? Review them regularly, make adjustments as needed if you have to, right? Maybe you're going to hit your goals sooner than you thought. Hey, that's a good thing, right? And then go, oh my gosh, okay, how about we do one more this week? I was on sales teams, and I swear it was like being at university, and the kids were like 60% a pass. I'm trying to get to 100. They get to 60 and stop. And in sales teams, if it was $2 million for us to have our, set our goals for the year, they get to $2 million in month 7 or 8. And then they kind of kick the can, and they're just like, yeah, I did it. This is good. I can keep my job. Well, then what are you doing for the next 3 or 4 months? Why wouldn't you surpass that, increase your income, and be able to move forward? It's just a very different mindset, right? From going from, like she said, from the chair to owning the chair. When you get out of the chair, you can move forward. You can live life to 100%. You don't have to do it at 60%, which is very cool. And prioritize rest and recovery again, right? Rest is not a luxury. And it's interesting because, you know, even when at church, I was talking to some ladies about business and about menopause. And, you know, I talked about that. I said, well, this is Sunday. What are you doing? Oh, I have to do this and I got to finish that. I'm like, no, it's Sunday. You should have family day. You should have a rest day. You should have a time to clear your mind. Maybe tonight for half an hour, look at your schedule and make sure it's laid out for the week properly. But you shouldn't be doing work on a day that you should rest, right? Because a lot of what happens too is if you come from a place of rest, a place of willingness to just relax and love your family, love on your health, take a bath, take the dog for a walk, meditate, whatever that is, you will get further ahead because that's part of your personal development. So as you are trying to manifest different things and you're rested and you feel focused and you're energized to go, the rest of your week is going to come with ease and grace instead of hustle and grind and that harshness, which leads to burnout. And schedule regular sleep patterns. I even have, you know, alarm on my phone to tell me when to go to sleep. So, and the dog knows 9:30, it has a special beep. She's barking at me and walking up the stairs to go to bed. I don't always go immediately, but it's in there, right? And I have my entire household knowing that shortly after 9:30, I'm heading to bed. That's my cue to go do my nighttime routine and head to bed, right? And then think about that. Take breaks throughout the day if you have to. If you're one who doesn't like going to the gym, do those micro workouts, right? Sometime in the afternoon, after lunch, 2:00, when everyone else looks like they're about to have a nap, do some squats, right? You're done a training call or a coaching call, you know, do some lunges up and down your living room. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it gets your blood flowing and it gets you moving again. It gets you out of work mode into something that is good for your body and your health, but can bring you back into something that's even more powerful. And one of the biggies as well that we talk about with all the women is to set boundaries and learn how to say no, right? Because overcommitting is the fast track to exhaustion. Learning to say no helps protect your energy and prioritize the most important tasks that you have to do in that day, right? Which are usually no more than 3 to 6. Your top 3 are the biggies that you have to get done immediately. And if they don't get done, you don't move on to 4, 5, and 6 until they do. So you learn how to set boundaries to yourself as well and protect your energy and prioritize the most important tasks you have to do, which moves your needle forward. How? Be very clear about what your limits are and communicate them assertively. And it's not that you're being nasty or aggressive. You're just saying, hey, look, you know what, between the hours of 9 and 1, you know, I can't be disturbed because I am busy working, I'm writing, I am doing something that's going to move the needle forward. So my business progresses. Because the minute you have that boldness about you, then people will take notice and go, oh, okay. So, okay, I'll block it off. I'll call you after 1:00. Perfect. But if you say, oh, no, I'm sure I can. Like, when are you available? And they'll go, well, maybe 11 or 11:30. Between 11 and 11:30, you're waiting for them to call you because it's human nature to go, okay, oh my gosh, they said they'd call. I said I was available. And it totally distracts you from what you're doing and what you need to do going forward. So pull it back in to say, these are my boundaries. I'm saying no to this for now, because some things you will have to say no to, and say, you know what, it's not forever. Just right now, I have this task I have to get to. And if I don't get it finished, my goodness, I'm never going to move my job forward, my business forward, my health forward, whatever that is for you. And don't feel guilty. There is no guilt in saying no when necessary to move you forward in life. Guarantee you that. Right? Cultivate a positive support network as well, right? We talked about, getting a coach, talking to mentors. Surround yourself with the people who uplift you each and every day. This helps to not only reduce your stress, but also fosters that more positive mindset because they share the same values you do, right? They value your time. When you say, no, I'm busy between 9 and 1, They don't flinch. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm good till 2. I'll give you a call after 2 o'clock, or I'll text you and see if you're still available. Right? We know we have that verbiage, and we always give each other 2 times, right? Well, I'm available between 1 and 2 or 4 and 6. Right? Because you know that you have to get things done. And your network knows that too. And it is true. The 5 people you hang around with the most, who is in your group, who's your BFF, those are the examples that you have. So your income, your housing, you know, how you dress, what you look like, all of that plays a part. And you can all elevate each other up, or your group takes you out. Because I've been around some people who are extremely negative, and I've had to shut down conversations and Zoom calls to say, ladies, if you continue this form of chit chat, then I'm going to have to step away, because I'm not about all that negativity right now. And they get that. And usually say, oh, I didn't realize we were doing that. I said it can spiral. So do you want to continue that conversation or not? And sometimes I have walked away from conversations because they haven't stopped talking about stuff. And others, it was like, okay, I got the awareness back into the group, and we were able to move forward, right? So when you engage those like-minded people, the mentors, friends, or peers who share your values and inspire you, they can offer that emotional support, the advice you need when there is an issue, or you say, I have this challenge. I've never had this in my business before. What does it mean? You need those people to bounce ideas off of. And they give you a different perspective, because when we're in our own little group in our quagmire and we're finding out what's going on, it's like, I've never experienced XYZ, or that wasn't supposed to happen. Why did it happen? Someone else can look in and go, because, when you were in step 2 and 3, you didn't really reinforce this. And that's why the conversations went sideways. So things like that can be really helpful when you're really engaging with people who are in the know, who support you for everything that you're doing. And number 5, regular physical activity. And again, if you're squatting around your living room, or jumping on the elliptical, or, at night, Charlotte and I might talk to each other, but we're both on the bike. So, right. We're not huge at multitasking, and usually it's girl talk, but, we're doing it, right? We are on the bike. We're getting some exercise. We know that we need to get those juices flowing. We need to get rid of even the energy that's stuck that we've had during the day, because it does. It boosts your energy, enhances your mood, helps prevent burnout by reducing stress. And that's one of the big things too, because being an entrepreneur, I got to tell you, it can be stressful. It's not the best profession you're going to get into to say, yeah, I want no stress in my life. It's not going to happen. But there's so many ways that you can combat it, right? With great friends and great BFF and business partners and physical activity. The next one is practice mindfulness and meditation. And I'll have some other posts coming up this week, because, I find too that when you're staying present, it helps reduce your anxiety again, anything about the future, because we tend to overthink, right? So if you go back to, week 1 and 2, and we're talking about manifesting your future, you can sit there and daydream and go, oh my gosh, okay, I'm on the beach with my hubby, my toes are in the water, the kids are running around. It seems great, but you open your eyes and go, oh my gosh, I have 12 feet of snow out my front window. They don't compute, right? But if you sit there and go, no, this is cool, right? I have 12 feet of snow out my front window, and I can just close my eyes, and I'm on a beach with my hubby, and life is grand, because you have that mindfulness piece that doesn't sway you from anxiety to anxiety, right? Because we don't always see with our eyes, right? You see with your heart, you see with your soul, and you need to remember that. And meditation can clear the mental clutter and enhances mental clarity, especially if you do a guided meditation. And we have 3 of them that are in our paid community. You get a morning meditation, an afternoon meditation, and a sleep meditation. And that's all part of it to help you boost yourself moving forward, or quiet yourself down to help you have a great restful sleep, right? And you start by dedicating maybe 10 minutes a day for mindfulness or meditation. And it could be a walking meditation. It could be just telling yourself great affirmations of you're outside and it's beautiful and sunny out, and you're dressed for the weather because it's freezing up here. But you're enjoying it. You're getting fresh air. And I'm thankful and grateful that all this is happening. And it's great, right? There's apps out there too, like Headspace or Calm, right? You can use those. I do have a nighttime better sleep app as well. And it just literally plays water. I love the sound of water. So I have rain, I have ocean waves, and that helps me sleep because it takes my mind away from everything else of the day, what I should have thought I should be doing, or anything of the like. And it really focuses me on time for rest. Right. And number 7, one of the critical things for women is to fuel your body with nutrient rich foods. Right. And it's funny because Charlotte and I talk about this all the time because we're very, very clear about what we eat, what we don't eat. Right. Although we both love chocolate. So we talk about that a lot. But it's good chocolate, right? It's Belgian chocolate, or we're eating, the good Swiss chocolate. We're not just going to a dollar store to pick up a cheap piece of chocolate because we need a Snickers bar. Not that Snickers is bad. I'm just saying, it's just, right? We go for the good stuff, right? Because we're going to celebrate our wins. So it's like, okay, then I'm going to celebrate with an awesome piece of chocolate I know I can get at the market this Saturday. It's not just because I'm going to run and pick up a chocolate bar, but it's really looking at what you eat because it directly impacts your energy levels, your mood, your mental clarity. Because if you have poor diet choices, it can lead to your sluggishness and irritability, right? Your menstrual cramps are going to be worse. Your menopause symptoms are going to be worse. Depending on what you eat, your digestion could really go sideways because, especially as women, every 10 years, and as we're cycling differently, well, then, the wonderful spicy pasta sauce that you used to be able to eat is now giving you such heartburn. It's crazy. Well, then maybe it's changing up what goes into some of that sauce. Add a carrot so it takes up some of the acidity, right? And have, basil spinach pasta instead of just regular pasta, right? Having a rice pasta instead. So it's learning what your body needs and how to do that, right? So when you make and prioritize whole nutrient dense foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, you're staying hydrated and you're limiting all the processed foods, especially when you're feeling tired, then you're really going to go much further. And you're going to notice that if you eat certain things past 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you can't sleep at night, right? I can't have pasta at night. I can't have just regular rice at night. I can't have anything sugary or chocolatey. And if I put honey in my tea, it has to be in the morning. I know that now, but it's looking at those clues to see how you can stay into this practice that keeps you moving forward so you don't have any setbacks, because you can win. It's the choices you make, right? And again, gratitude. Practice gratitude. And if you go back, you'll also hear it in weeks 1 and 2, how we talk about having that attitude of gratitude and waking up in the morning and writing it out, right? The 5 things you're grateful for in the present tense: my tea, my dog, my cat, right? The sun is shining today. I don't see a snowstorm. This is wonderful. And then 5 things that you're grateful for from the future, right? I'm so grateful and thankful that I am walking the beach with this amazing man. We're holding hands, we're giggling, we're drinking wine, my toes are in the water. Life is good, right? And it doesn't have to be that wordy, but it's just, that's one of my visions. So I love it. And as I continue to rehearse it and say it, my body believes it's already happening. So even though it looks at the snow, that's okay. Snow's here today. It's going to be gone eventually. And I'm going to have my toes in the water with Mr. Wonderful. But it's celebrating that, celebrating your wins, right? Acknowledging your progress, no matter how small. And if there's a mistake, if you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just blew that up, then pat yourself on the back. Say, oh my gosh, I blew that up. That was obviously for a reason, or I would have gone down the wrong path. There's always a different perspective and way to look at things, right? And this way, it'll boost your motivation. It can reinstate and reinforce those positive mindsets for you. And then deep down, that gratitude helps to shift your focus from lack to abundance. And that's what we want for you. We want you to just turn that around to go, okay, you don't have to wait another 3 years to do what you've been dreaming about. You can start it today, right? You have the power. We have the power to help you. And let's make that happen, right? Because one of the biggest things we need you to understand is wealth building, business building, life building is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not going from A to B and then trying to catch your breath and go from B to C. And then, no, it's a nice ebb and flow. And when you're in that, when you're aligned with who it is you want to be and where it is you want to go, sky's the limit. So keep taking action, keep learning, keep believing. And if you need to, borrow our beliefs, because we know that you are here, that you can succeed at whatever is in your heart and soul, because it's invested in you and your ability to grow. So thank you for listening, and I hope this was helpful.
Wow, Alyson. Thank you so much. I'm going to actually check the chat. For those of you who are actually tuning in live with us, go ahead and put your questions in the chats, your comments in the chat. Those of you who are watching the replay, go ahead and put your comments as well. If you want to unmute, we will open up the lines here in just a little bit. But while I am checking the chat, Allie, I am turning it back over to you. Again, ladies, I am checking the chat, making sure that you don't have any questions or comments at the moment. I think this is absolutely amazing. You shared so much valuable information, as you always do. And I cannot thank you enough, Alyson, for all of this that you're sharing with each and every one of us. And so I don't see any questions in the chat. Again, for those of you that are tuning in with us, you can always head over to wealthywomenuniversity.com to join our community. If you're not already an active member of our community, we'd love to have each and every one of you a part of our community on this journey together with you. And so now that we understand the why, the why behind everything, let's talk about the how. We talked about the how somewhat, but let's dive a little bit more deeper, because scaling doesn't mean, of course, working 24/7. It means leveraging systems, as Alyson had mentioned, also people and resources, which we've mentioned throughout this whole entire couple of weeks of sessions. And so here's how to scale without burnout. Number one, let's talk about leveraging your team and early on, when I started out in business, I had a hard time actually doing that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have to delegate, and I don't have the money right now because I'm still working in corporate. How will I go ahead and start delegating some of this work so that I can start focusing on those things that I need to focus on? And so what I did was started putting together a team, and we'll share, of course, a lot more of this with you as we continue this journey together. But one of the things that you can do when it comes to delegating in the business space is find other people in the community that are great at what they do, and then now you're exchanging business together. You're seeing the skills that they have, and you're paying them for that service. Also, early on, maybe there's someone that you want to barter with to get in exchange for case studies, as you're helping them to get results at the same time as well. Another thing is, for me, what I did was started with hiring people outside of the US, because I wanted to start again, being that we are a global movement, I want to have opportunities available for not just people in the US or not just people in Canada. We want people that we're helping all over the globe. So I would hire people, and I still do this today, hire people in different countries. But also, I'm a big believer of diversity. So it's so important to have that diversity, because, again, we all have different strengths. And so I think it's important to be able to do just that, leveraging off of each other's strengths. Alyson, did you want to share anything about the delegation part before I dive in further?
Well, thank you. No, I love that piece, because a lot of people are either natural born delegators, or they want to do everything. Oh, it's just easier if I do it myself. Well,
Mhm.
it's not in business. Sometimes cleaning your kitchen, maybe, but when it comes to business, you need to stay in your zone of genius. And if you don't stay in your zone of genius, then you're not allowing someone else to stay in theirs, and you're sort of half-assing something that someone in their zone of genius could do administratively that you don't have to do, and you can stay where you need to be, stay in your lane. And I've told a lot of people, we've chuckled about this, is just stay in your lane. If your lane is coaching, coach,
Mhm.
right? If you're in sales, sell something. But if there's administrative stuff, doing your website or trying to get on email, let someone else do that. Teach them and train them how your expectations are for that task. But once you do that, then let them fly, let them stay in their zone of genius, because I think that's brilliant. And you get a lot more done, like you say, with someone else in your corner than all by yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Alyson. And the other thing is, too, like you've been saying this, and we've been talking about this throughout the whole time and with our clients as well, is if you're doing everything yourself, you're actually putting a cap on your income. You're putting a
Oh,
cap on
absolutely.
your impact. How many
Yeah.
more people can you serve better if you're delegating your tasks that actually don't require your direct input, so you can actually focus on that high end impact, activities that you are supposed to be focusing on. So definitely want to hear from each and every one of you. What will you delegate? What will you delegate today? It could be something that you think that is like tiny, but think about what is pretty much sucking your time away from you right now, and what would be most productive. We can definitely help you with sifting and sorting through what would be most effective for you to delegate at the same time as well. The second thing is you want to automate your wealth building systems. We talked about setting up your automatic savings and investments to build wealth without thinking about it. I am a big believer of like out of sight, out of mind, meaning you get paid weekly, daily. For some of us, you have different investments where you get paid daily, you get paid weekly, you get paid monthly. If you have your automatic savings set up, then, when you're checking your bank account, you'll say, well, hey, I got, $500 going into one investment per week. I got, $100 going in, or $10 going in my real estate properties, or whatever that magic number is that you're setting up. Is going to really help you with creating that reoccurring revenue, so you're making money even when you're not actively working. And that's huge for me, because when I got diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome while working in corporate, all I did was had, all my eggs in one baskets, just didn't even wasn't in the right rooms, wasn't in the right environments, not knowing that, hey, you need to be doing all of these wealth building strategies that now we are sharing with each and every one of you. So just think about that. What can you save? $10 a week. Can you save $20 a week? Can you put aside $500 a week? Whatever that number is, like, take out the time, comment below, share it with us, let us hold you accountable, share it in our community at the same time as well. The third thing is building that influence and brand power, because more visibility equals more wealth. And the more people know, like, and trust you, the easier it is to attract those wealth opportunities. And we talk about positioning yourself as an expert through media, publishing, and networking. And scaling isn't about working harder, it's about making smarter decisions that will actually allow you the ability to grow wealth automatically. So you don't want to get stuck. I like to say you don't want to be Charlotte 28 years ago, stuck, got diagnosed with a health challenge, and not knowing what's going to be that next move for taking care of your family. Again, I want you all to type in the chat if you have any questions. Now is the time you can unmute if you want to comment, get questions answered. But I would like to know, Alyson would like to know, we all would like to know, what's been your biggest challenge with scaling, and where do you feel stuck with delegation, automation, or passive income? And then what's one action you can take this week to shift from active to scalable income? Because as we mentioned before, having all of your eggs in one basket is not going to be the most helpful thing for you. But we want you to drop your questions in the chat. You can unmute yourself. You can comment below this video if you're watching the replay. But we'd love to hear from you, definitely, to see where you are when it comes to that. Alyson, did you want to share something else?
Sure. Thank you. Oh, I love that. I love, right? Because you need to be in the right frame of mind, doing the right things to be in the right rooms to have the opportunities. Like Charlotte said, if you're not getting out and getting up and branding yourself to be that expert, you're not going to even get offered to come to the table. And you need to do that, right? And when it comes to personal investing, yeah, it's easy just to get a savings account right next to your checking account, but then you also have very easy access to that. And I found that out the hard way. So then I got, for myself, I got a TFSA, which is a tax-free savings account here in Canada, but I got it from my investment partner. So it comes off automatically every month. I don't see it. Like Charlotte said, out of sight, out of mind. It's building wealth behind the scenes, and I don't have easy access to it. Right? Because normally it's like, oh my gosh, okay, we're a little behind. I don't know if that's coming in today. I'll just pull from this. You don't get to do that, right? You can't pull from your future and just expect not to blow it up in the present. So when you do little things like that, then you actually have to make sure that you're building that wealth, you're building that strategy, and you're staying the course. And you believe it's going to happen.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just always great to, like you said, out of sight, out of mind. And it's really great because even having a savings account, there are specific types of savings account, and we share this within our community. But when you're getting a savings account, you want one that's going to have the savings is making money for you, not just sitting in at a regular bank where you're not even going to get a piece of the pie, if you know what I mean. We all
Exactly.
want a piece of the pie.
Yeah. When your service charges are more than the interest you're making, you're in the wrong savings account.
Right. It's just so important for you ladies to be implementing what we're sharing. What we're sharing is what we are actually doing. This is not something that we just put together. This was absolutely a very powerful conversation that we had with all of you amazing ladies today. Scaling wealth isn't about luck. It's about intentional strategies, intentional systems, and resilience, because there will be days that you may not have a good day, but if you are in the right rooms, the right environments, have the right team of people that are there supporting you, it really does help you to get through. Because a lot of times you may be around your family, but your family won't get you like we will get you because they're not in the business space. Now, there may be some of your family that is in the business space, but the only person that was in the business space early on for me, I saw my mom grow as I'm growing up. I saw her with her business, and that is what inspired me to want to do my own business, because I saw the freedom that she had. And I wanted that freedom. I didn't want to continue even being behind the chair where my kids would, cry because mom had to go to work and not be able to spend that time. So when Alyson was sharing about having that family time and carving out that time and carving out that self-care. It's really, really important to do that and not feel guilty as you're doing that at the same time. So this week's challenge, I want you all to choose one action that will help you to scale, whether it's pricing your offers higher, automating a financial system, or adding a passive income stream. Take one step forward. Don't just let this information that you've heard just be information. We are looking for implementation. We want you to share your progress in the community, in our Wealthy Women University community at wealthywomenuniversity.com. And also, I have a very exciting update. This actually concludes our first season of Wealthy Women Weekly, which we are absolutely excited about. And of course, we would like to invite you again to get into our community, as we will share exactly how you can continue getting this type of access through our other communities, where we'll be meeting monthly for deeper strategy sessions. You get more personalization for your training, marketing audits, like if you need to have your websites and your social media audited, your book audited, we will actually be able to help you more customized and help you get to where you need to be a lot quicker. We have high level conversations about building, scaling, and sustaining wealth, again, customized exclusively to you. So next month, we'll actually be talking about leveraging media and branding for business expansion, because when your name actually carries influence, wealth actually follows. And so we want to invite each and every one of you to continue this journey with us. You are an unstoppable force. We want you to keep showing up. We want to help you continue scaling your success and making wealth building a way of life. So, with that being said, we will see each and every one of you within our community. And Alyson, did you have anything else you want to share before we close out today's call?
Oh, just so exciting that we have other programs coming up, that we have included so much in there for you. We even have a health area. So we'll do audits on your nutrition, on your movement, on your sleep. We're going to help you with everything to be the right rounded person moving forward that aligns with all your values and your vision and your mission. So it's a lot of excitement coming down the pipe. And we have 2 special retreats we'll tell you about once you're in the communities that, are intimate, but they're really going to move you forward. And we're super excited and stoked to start 2 this year and have more next year. So stay tuned for all the wonderfulness coming down.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Alyson. And if you're in the free community, you definitely will be hearing more about each and every one of these programs as well. We, again, have over $12,000 in value that's there readily for you to take access and take implementation so that you can achieve your goals, and whether that's personal or professional. And of course, if you haven't heard by now, we have our Wealthy Women AI system that you'll have access to as well. So head over to wealthywomenuniversity.com, and we will look forward to seeing each and every one of you within our community. But until next time, we will see you all very soon. Have a phenomenal rest of the week, and we'll see you back at season 2 of Wealthy Women Weekly. Bye for now.